Images of all the chaos in the world, stories flooding our social media feeds with bad news, disruptions in our home, and violence in our communities. And for young people, add to that, what can be uncertainty about our futures? It can all take a toll on our mental well-being, but there is help and hope, and we're going to talk about it next on Speak Out DC.
The stressors of life are real. From family pressures to relationships, to school with its deadlines and demands, to social media with its looming threat of imposter syndrome. Keeping it together mentally can be tough for young people. So when does maintaining positive mental health mean asking for help?
Welcome to Speak Out DC. I'm your host, Kiana Turner. With all the drama swirling around us, it can be hard to maintain a healthy mindset and positive outlook. So what can we do? Here to help us answer that is Dr. Mary DeRate, a clinical assistant professor and director of the Master's in School Counseling program at George Washington University, where she also completed her doctoral work, which focused on effective trauma and coping, anxiety, non-suicidal self-injury, depression, and behavior disorders. And on our panel, Kyle Sullivan, a student at Alabama A&M University, Vivian Parker, who attends Penn State, Cameron Williams, associate producer here at the Office of Cable Television and Entertainment, and Johans Kennedy, a student at George Mason University. It's great to have you all here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Mary, I wanted to ask you, what do you think are some particular issues that young people face when it comes to mental health?
Yeah, so I think right now there's a lot of stress on young people, especially young adults, as they're kind of moving into that adulthood space. And one of the things that I've been told is really kind of driving a lot of that stress is figuring out the future, right? In a world where you're hearing so much about all the challenges and the problems and where we're headed, that the idea of where we're going and how do we kind of predict that for ourselves on a personal level? And how do we navigate a future with AI and finding a job and meaningful engagement? I think that's a really big stressor right now.
Right. Okay, so I want to open up to my panelists. Any of you guys can answer this. How do you feel like you can necessarily combat any mental health issues that you're facing, especially like Dr. Mary mentioned, you know, us being young, going through life, how do we, or how do you learn to navigate that?
Well, I would say that for me, thankfully, I haven't really experienced any mental health challenges.
Okay.
But what I do in situations where I go through tough times, I just got to tell myself, I just got to push forward, because I understand that I'm here, I have a goal. And in order to achieve my goal, I need to have the right mindset. And that mindset is, I'm here, I have a goal, and I need to get this work done in order to be able to get to my career. What do I want to be in life? Right. So for me, just being able to already have my goal set and just understand like the process of me getting to that point is what really helps me stay focused.
Right. I definitely resonate with that, especially as a college student. I mean, most of us are college students. I think navigating college in that completely different environment definitely takes a toll on your mental health, even if you don't like realize it. Like a lot of people think mental health is just like, oh wow, like serious depression or like you need to be medicated or something like that, when in reality, you know, daily stressors can affect somebody's mental.
Right.
And I definitely like see like telling yourself to keep pushing and just knowing that you have a set goal, that definitely helps me get through mental challenges. But I also think it's important to realize that sometimes you're just not okay.
Right.
Sometimes speaking to somebody is good. That's how you know, get a support system. That's how you push through it without kind of bottling your emotions. It's just being like, okay, well, we got to get through it somehow. We're just gonna do it all myself. And I feel like, I think therapy is so important. Like, even, you don't have to have like a therapist for a set amount of years, but just someone to talk to, just being like, hey, this is how I'm feeling right now. I just need someone to talk to. And I think especially if we're thinking in the Black community, therapy has always kind of been
Like a taboo.
like a taboo, exactly. And I feel like as a younger generation, it's our job to kind of break the generational curses that come with like pushing mental health away, pushing help away, because in reality, that's just, help is normal. It's normal to have help, ask for help. Like, we're humans, it's part of our, we're social creatures. We need to talk to people.
Right.
So
Exactly.
that's,
Yeah, exactly.
I felt like within college, it's so stressful, and it's like, I feel like at a certain point you definitely need a support system. Like, not just with therapy, you need to get out there, explore, have friends, make sure you keep in contact with your family. And with me, I found that doing things that outside of education definitely help, like working or going to the gym. Oh my Lord. The gym helps me so much with my mental. It keeps me focused, it keeps me driven, and not just with the weights, but then after I'm driven with that, I can still focus back on my work. It, like you said, it helps me keep pushing forward because we are going to school for a purpose. And it's not worth it to just give it up if you want to pursue something in the future. You want to try to get to what you love.
I agree with all of that. Having some sort of outlet for your frustrations, especially something that allows you to have a mindless approach to where you're nodding your head. It's all about the task at hand, whether it be the gym, whether it be focusing on your goal. Something that I love is journaling, because a lot of times, like, you may have an issue in your mind and it's hard to untangle it just in your mind, but once it's on paper, you can see it like in a linear fashion. And it's, you know, it just gives you a clarity. Like, you tend to think that you're right. Like, whatever it is you think in your mind, it's like, oh, it is that way, but 50% of the time you're wrong. You don't know what you're talking about. Like, you have no one else to confer with in your head. So getting out on paper, talking to somebody, you know, it's, all these things.
Exactly.
All handy methods, I think. And these are important things to talk about, especially when we do have people who don't have like the strong mindset. We need to know which ways, which outlets do we turn to really help us cope. So I appreciate that. Thank you guys. We're just getting started. And when Speak Out DC returns, more checking your mind. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Speak Out DC. We're talking about mental health and how young people are impacted. So Dr. Mary, what's some feedback that you have to give our panelists from the previous conversation that we were just having?
Absolutely. So I just was listening to all of you talk about these things, and I think the things that came up for me were thinking about, it's this aspect of the human experience, that we have an internal experience and an external experience. And what all of you were kind of describing was how you access that internal experience. And then one of the ways that's the most effective is to get it out, right? When you were talking about journaling and talking to a therapist, there's a quote by Carl Jung, who's a famous psychiatrist, that sometimes the mind struggles with something that the hands can resolve on its own. And it's when we get it out of our head or just put it out in the world, we get to look at it. Whereas when it's in our head, it's just running through. So when you have a positive mindset, and I'm really curious how you developed that positive mindset over time.
Because that was going to be a personal question for me too.
Right, because not everyone has that. Not everyone has a positive mindset, right? We, depending on how we were raised and our experiences, our brain can kind of come up with a lot of obstacles, right? It focuses on the obstacles instead of the options. And so the ability to look at the options and to redirect our mind toward the options sometimes requires getting those obstacles out in the presence of another person, in the case of therapy, getting some feedback on that. Sometimes it's getting it out with family and friends and getting their perspective, allowing it to have a voice, right? Gives us ownership over it. So I guess I'm curious with all of you, where do you think your positive mindsets have come from? Some of the things that have driven you to kind of move in a positive direction.
Yeah, well, for me, I would say family it was very important for me. I mean, my parents had me when they were young. They were juniors in college when they had me, and so for them it was tough balancing, you know, school and then also taking care of me. And so I was pretty much around my family like all the time. I was around my grandparents, my great grandparents, my cousins, and it was just a positive environment. It was nothing really negative. And as I got older, I learned more from like my grandparents. They would share their experiences. And so as I got older, I just learned more about life. And so once I got into school, I already had like a understanding of like, okay, my life, I really had nothing to be negative or feel negative about as of right now. I'm in school, I'm learning, I have a supporting cast around me.
Right.
And so family is definitely a huge factor for me as far as, you know, getting me here.
Yeah, I agree. Family is definitely my biggest motivator. I was lucky, blessed enough to grow up in a very stable home environment where, you know, curiosity was encouraged. I was always like told to stay educated, to read, to like anything that I would want to do is possible. I just have to do it. My goal is to pay it back to them. Like, I want to, you know, graduate from college. I want to get a successful career to show almost like a thank you to my family. Like, you guys, like I made it. And that's definitely where I get my positive mindset from. And I think also just having, you know, people you look up to in whatever field that you want to go into helps create a positive mindset. I remember we were talking earlier about, you know, in the field of journalism, having someone that looks like you helps you want to reach that goal.
Right.
And I think as someone who's studying journalism and international relations in college, having someone that looks like me, doing the things that I want to do, puts me in a positive mindset, because it's just like, I know that I could, if they could do it, I could do it.
Right.
Nothing is limiting me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's definitely, I agree. That's how I get my positive mindset.
Yeah.
For sure.
I feel like I can agree with the family aspect, but one thing that I will add to that is seeing like my family struggle. I think struggle is a big drive of me having the type of mindset that I do have, because I have come from an upbringing where things were very transparent into like what reality was like for my family at the time. So I think having like a passion and a drive for like what I want to do now, and understanding where I came from and understanding like how bad things were motivates me to like keep going, because it's like I'm not going back there. Right? No more struggle. We don't want to struggle.
So
Right.
there's this term that I love, that goes along with what you're saying, which is that human beings are anti-fragile.
Yeah.
Meaning, unlike a glass, when you drop it, it breaks. When you drop a person, they get stronger when they get back up, right? We're anti-fragile. We need struggle to actually build strength in our bodies, right? There are these resiliency factors that I'm hearing you both talk about, and that there's, you know, this environment that gave you positive messages, and then there is also the need in our lives to have struggle.
Right.
Because when we have that struggle, we look back on it, if we can, and say, when we have positive messages, wow, I overcame that, I can overcome the next thing.
Right.
I think the hard part is for people when they feel like they've had a struggle and they haven't overcome it.
Yeah.
Right, and then then the thing they look back on and they go, wow, so many horrible things have happened. How do I move forward from here?
Right.
And I think that is that point where we say maybe our mental health is not where it should be.
Right.
And it's really about the narratives. But I don't want to interrupt because I know we had more.
Yeah, we're gonna get back into that, I promise. Stay with us, there's more to come. Speak Out DC, we'll be back in a moment. Welcome back to Speak Out DC. We're talking with Dr. Mary DeRay, Clinical Assistant Professor and Director of the Master's in School Counseling Program at George Washington University, about recognizing and coping with mental health challenges. So, I have a question for you, Cameron. Yes. We are all currently in college, and we go through the college struggle as of right now, but I want to know, you personally, how was your mental health post-grad? And how did you navigate like clearing up any fuzziness in your brain when it came to having like a positive mental health or positive outlook on things after graduation?
I was somebody who was and still am very optimistic.
Okay.
I had full confidence in myself. I've maintained my mental health throughout the years, but I have had struggles. Like, I have had times where I've been locked into careers that felt like a box, and you get on this hamster wheel.
Yeah.
And I'm a Jay-Z fan,
Okay.
and Jay-Z has this quote, it's like, life is like a treadmill, people running in place, getting nowhere fast, a whole year done passed. And it's just like, I'm
Literally.
telling you, like, whatever it is you want to do,
That's so real, though.
you got to do it like today. You got to do it
Yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Because, that's what I got.
Okay.
I feel like with my support system, I always say I have my family, but I also have my friends. And on campus, we try to keep each other in the loop so much as possible because we're all students, we're all
Yeah.
going through the same stress. During exam times, I remember we were all just locked in our dorms, and then one person texted the group chat, it was like, okay, we're getting off this campus this weekend. Like,
Yeah.
we need to go somewhere.
Gotta
It
go.
doesn't matter where. The
Yeah.
mall, the supermarket, if we
Do something. Get off of the campus.
Yeah, because work stresses you out so much. It's like
Yeah.
a pile on.
Yeah.
So you definitely need an outlet, no matter what, to just differentiate that stress.
Yeah.
I think it's so important to surround yourself with people that are going to build you up. Because I can tell you now, I've been surrounded by people who have not benefited me
Yeah.
at all. And it's just like, I'm so happy to say that I have a group of people not only at school but also in DC, and we just kind of build off of each other's like strengths, and we always motivate each other. I remember my roommate, we're in two completely different majors.
Yeah.
She's in pre-med. I can never do pre-med. I don't know how.
Kudos to her, right?
Because she would like stay up long nights. She'd be like, I have like a 5 a.m. chem exam. I'm like, yeah, good luck. But like just seeing her do that motivated me in my own life.
Yeah.
And just talking about like our goals and where we see ourselves in the future has definitely helped my mental, because it's like, okay. And she's a Black woman. Like just seeing like us like being in spaces where we're always told that we're not supposed to be in, that's gonna build me up 100%. Because
Every
that's just like,
time.
if you think I'm not gonna do it, I'm gonna do it 10 times better.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. So I feel like surrounding yourself with people that kind of have the same mentality as you or same perspectives, but also allowing for different perspectives, because that's going to make you a more open-minded person.
Right.
Is super important.
I wonder if it makes sense to summarize what you're saying with surrounding yourself with people who have the same values and the same kind of character qualities, but diverse viewpoints.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because there's these core things that drive us moving forward, and you don't have to be going in the same direction to have those core values.
Right.
Right? You just need to have people around you that respect those and value those and share them.
Right.
Because it helps you. It's like your two and their two make a four. And then you're not alone in it.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. I just want to say that it was, especially when it comes to meeting new people, because people, if you're going in a specific path, the people are going to hate. They're going to talk. They're
People are
going to talk
gonna
down
hate.
on you. They're going to be like, oh, well, you should be doing this. You should be doing that. But it's not what I want to do.
Right.
And so that's another thing when it comes to surrounding yourself with people who not only care about what you want to do, but care about your values. Especially in the era of social media and everything being, online and all different types of quotes that come from like celebrities or like social media influencers saying, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that. And, it might have worked for them,
Right.
but like for me, like that's not gonna work for me, especially mentally or even like physically.
Yeah.
And so just being able to understand who you are and just surrounding yourself with people who understand who you are, but then you do the same thing for them, it benefits both sides.
Right. Yeah. I definitely agree. I think that's important with anything that you're doing. Like finding that comfortability within yourself allows you to like blur out the nonsense from everywhere else, if that makes sense. Like if you know yourself and you understand the journey and everything that you're about, I feel like anything on the outside can't really come in and affect it. So I have a personal question for you, Dr. Mary.
Okay.
What do you feel like was your experience that brought you into wanting to help people in counsel and just be that type of mentorship for others?
Yeah. So there's a very specific version, and then there's kind of a more broad
Okay.
perspective. And one is that I was a school teacher
Okay.
before I became a therapist. And I was working with children in school watching them struggle and not learn, and looking around a classroom full of little faces going, why is this child learning and this child isn't? Why is this child coming in one day, can't function, and then the next day able to? And I wasn't trained. I think teachers are often not given what they need to really help students. And so I was driven into the mental health field by the desire to understand why this was happening, right?
Yeah.
What's
like,
going
what was the
on?
disconnect?
Right. And then once I was in that field, it was a fit. Because I think one of the things about being a therapist is that when we train therapists, we teach them skills, right?
Yeah.
So that training really offers you an opportunity to self-reflect and learn. And I feel like I was able to look back on my experience in childhood and the mindsets that I was handed, some of them good, some of them not great,
Right.
and figure out the mindsets and what I would call narratives. I'm what's called a narrative therapist. The narratives that I was handed by life, I was offered an opportunity to rethink those narratives
Right.
and turn them into narratives that were actually positive and change some of that. And so once I was able to get those skills, I'm like, wow, I just want to tell everybody else.
Right.
I want to help anyone that's willing to try to figure out, because the truth is, the story of mental health is optimistic.
Right.
We have the ability to affect our mental health. The ability to emotionally regulate, to not be afraid of our feelings, to recognize them, to be aware of how they impact our body and have an impact on them with our thoughts.
Right.
Like to balance emotions and logic and not lean too heavily in either direction. These are all doable things.
Yeah.
They just feel out of our control when we don't have the skills.
Yeah.
And what I am adoring about listening to all of you today is hearing that you were given a lot of those skills growing up from your environment, from your family, from
Right.
the world. And I think those are the most powerful predictors of emotional health in young adulthood and in adulthood.
Right. Coming back, I want to focus on the people who don't necessarily have that strong mindset. So we're definitely going to get into that. When we come back, we'll get some final thoughts from our guests and our panel. Stay with us. Speak Out DC will be right back. Welcome back to Speak Out DC. Let's continue our discussion and then get some final thoughts from our guests and our panel. So Dr. Mary, this whole time we're talking about the strong ones, the ones who have this mentality that, okay, I'm just gonna persevere through. But what would be your advice to those who don't have that mindset or who really don't know how to push through tough situations?
Yeah. I think the first thing that I would say, because I hear it a lot, is to remind yourself that you are not broken, right? Because the narrative that comes up for a lot of people when they've been through a lot of challenges is, there's something wrong with me, right? I heard it this morning. What's wrong with me? I'm crying all the time. Right. What's wrong with me? I can't make myself accomplish my goals. I set all these goals and I never get them accomplished. And I think this idea of what's wrong with me, it goes in the wrong direction. Because it undermines our ability to say, I can change, I can impact my experience. So I think my first and most heartfelt advice is confront the idea that you're broken and that there's something wrong with you. You are whoever you are, wherever you're at in your life, you have been handed a mindset by your experiences. That doesn't make you broken. It means that your brain and your body responded to the circumstances you were handed in the best way it knew how, and it's still responding in that way. It learned something. You can unlearn it. Because I think that is the one thing that is so important. I've framed it around fear-based learning and discovery-based learning. Someone over here said, I think you said something about being discovery, like as curious. And I think our brains are wired to be fear-based and discovery-based, meaning I'm afraid of what's happening, I need to prep for it, or I'm so interested in what's coming next, I need to get excited about it. Right? Yeah. The problem is that when we have a lot of negative things impact us over our life, that fear-based side gets out of control, right?
Yeah.
It's like everything is going to be bad,
Right.
The future, you were talking about the future. We all live in this like three-directional, the past, the present, and the future environment. And when we've had a lot of pain and struggle, the future always looks bad. I've talked to so many people who they're like, well, I can't expect that's going to happen because everything goes wrong in my life. This is going to be bad because I'm never going to accomplish that. Why would I even apply to college? I'm never going to graduate. Nothing ever goes right for me. Again, there's those narratives, right? Those narratives made sense and protected us, but they're not working anymore when we're feeling the weight of them.
Right.
I often joke that thoughts are like elephants that are going down a trail to a watering hole.
Okay.
Right? And the more they go down, the more you have the same
Quite an
thought, that
analogy.
elephant is like making a wide path, right?
Right.
And the goal to move is to move away from that kind of automatic fear-based response into discovery. You got to shove that elephant out into the woods to create a new path in the direction you choose. And that's hard.
Yeah.
But you can do it.
Yeah.
Because that elephant is yours. So I
Yeah.
think that I think would
Amazing
be just a
advice.
starting point.
Yeah, that's amazing.
If that makes
advice.
sense.
I want to ask the rest of the panel, what would be some advice that you would leave to our audience today when it pertains to mental health, especially coming from a younger perspective?
Well, I mean, like I said earlier, when it comes to just having that positive mindset and just pushing through it and just understanding your goals and aspirations, and especially nowadays where, you know, like I said, with social media and being able to do stuff like this and like just talk and just express yourself is a lot easier now than it was back then. And so just being able to do that, have a goal in place, understanding where you want to go for your career, and just being able to just follow that path. Don't let anything knock you off. I mean, sky's the limit, honestly.
Yeah.
You can, you know, do whatever you want.
Right.
Sometimes you gotta take a break off of TikTok and be like, this is not the best for my
Not
mental
today.
right now. And I feel like that's just realizing where your strengths and your weaknesses lie, and not completely disregarding your weaknesses, but working to build them up and strengthen them.
Yeah.
No, I would just say challenge your limiting beliefs, like similar to what Dr. Mary was saying, like, you know, write down that thing that you think it is you lack at and ask yourself, why do I feel this way? And just dismantle it, untangle it, and you'll find that it's probably irrational.
I felt like throughout my high school years, I kept on saying, why am I doing this? What am I gaining? I'm just like, I have this goal, and I know that one day I'm going to achieve it. I want to do film, I want to do this and that. I have to achieve it somehow, and if I keep on pushing, I'm gonna get there. I go through this whole year of school, 1 year, I can do it again the next year.
Right.
You just do it again the next year. You keep on going. Consistency
going.
is key.
Consistency.
Right. Yeah. Thank you guys so much. That was a great discussion today. We've gotten some excellent direction and advice about developing and maintaining positive mental health. Thanks to our guests, Dr. Mary, and to our panel, Kyle, Vivian, Cameron, and Johans. And thank you for tuning in. I'm your host, Kiana Turner, and remember, let your voice be heard. Speak out, DC.